I have a very quick presentation on Ghana and the opportunities in Ghana's housing sector. Now, I'm sure you know very much that housing is a basic need everywhere in the world. In Ghana's constitution, housing is not specifically mentioned as a right, but if you read between a few of our articles, 15, 1, and 18, you get a good sense that right from the very basic point, we look to ensure that people have a right to dignity, dignified lifestyle, including housing. The housing sector creates a lot of jobs. I'll share with you some data shortly. It contributes significantly to economic growth, to development of our communities, and it also adds a lot to the psyche and the culture of the people as well. So it's a sector that is very important to us. Here's some very recent data on Ghana's economic progress, specifically to deal with what housing is contributing to. The industry is contributing pretty well, about 5.7% to the 2021 growth story of Ghana, and that's an uptick from the 3.1 the year before. And in nominal terms, in Ghana cedis, that's almost about 30 billion Ghana cedis. Our rate today is about 17 to a pound, so you can work the math there. That's from Fitch. Fitch is also giving us some more data. Our construction industry is projected to grow by about 4.1 year on year in 2022. We may see that that's a bit of a slowdown on the previous year's growth of about 5.7. But if you look at it as a cumulative growth story, it's a very active industry in Ghana. The reason is that as the economy is growing and more people are going into the middle class and are having disposable incomes, the ability to take mortgages and to purchase homes is going higher, and that is also contributing on the demand side, which is therefore drawing in some more developments in the supply side. Now, just a bit of background data about the Ghana story. In Ghana today, you have a population of about 31 million people. The last population census tells us that we have about 5.8 million residential structures. And then there's still a significant number of people who are living in places that you would rather want to redevelop or move them into proper homes. We've got an urban population of about 19 million and a housing deficit today of about 1.8 million units. And this is a big number that I want to talk to you about this afternoon. 1.8 million housing units. Now, in dealing with this, the government is looking at about 4 major programs to deliver these about 1.8 million housing units over a medium term of about 10 years. We're using what we call a social housing program. Many of you are in the industry, so you very much understand that I don't need to define that. Then we have an affordable housing program that we're rolling out. We are also just about starting with what we call a district housing program, which ensures that in the countryside and in many other parts of the country, we're able to deliver a lot more housing units. And then in the old urban areas that require redevelopment, we are also embarking on a redevelopment program. Now, for social housing, we're looking more at things that look like hostels or shared premises. In fact, we've just piloted one in Accra, led by the Vice President, which seeks to provide sort of like a dormitory type accommodation for people to live in overnight, get a shower in the morning and get out there and then go get to work. And then through some of the social protection programs, developers can then get some payment for these properties that they deliver. So currently we're running an affordable housing program in the Greater Accra region, specifically a place called Pokwase, where we are delivering about 8,000 housing units. We've also just acquired some 200 acres of land in the Middle Belt, in Kumasi specifically, where we're going to do about 10,000 housing units. We're also looking for master developers, what we call master developers, who will come in to do nothing less than about 5,000 units in new settlements. And this is looking at developers who have got the kind of technology that is building at pace and at scale and is delivering housing units at a price point that is affordable to the average Ghanaian home. Between $15,000 and $20,000 for a 2-bedroom is something that we'll be interested in looking at. And there are a number of incentives that the government of Ghana is looking to offer developers who are coming in as master developers to do these units of about 5,000 plus. Yesterday we had a few meetings with people with interesting technology, some of the prefab structures and other technologies. And for those of you who are interested in being master developers, it's one of the areas that we want to attract you to. We're looking to do a lot more development that has a lower carbon footprint than you see on the market today. And in particular, we're looking to do that in the peri-urban areas using local construction materials and delivering at a price point that is attractive to the middle class in the peri-urban areas. Number 3 is what we call district housing. Ghana has about 261 districts that accommodate a population of about 31 million. And historically, a lot of the development has been in the urban areas: Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, Cape Coast, Tamale. We are now focusing on doing a lot of development in the 261 districts. And for these developments, again, we're looking at a lot of EDGE certified or green housing projects and integrated development projects that allow people to live in these peri-urban areas, go about their economic activity in these peri-urban areas, and not necessarily migrate to Accra or to other parts of the world, but live there. And then very finally, we have our urban redevelopment program. So in many of the old parts of the cities, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, Tamale, you'll find spaces where you can redevelop into a lot of high-rise property, mixed-use property that accommodates commerce, shopping centers, and offices, as well as apartments for residential purposes. So we are redeveloping old neighborhoods and properties. We've also got a lot of old government bungalows that we are seeking to redevelop into mixed properties. And under this redevelopment program, we're also looking to do our slum upgrades in parts of Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi. So just to wrap up, here's our ask. We're looking for many of you developers who have technology that allows you to build very fast and affordable. And we're looking for you to partner with the Ghanaian real estate private sector. We've got quite a number of Ghanaian private developers who have come with us on this delegation. We want you to partner with them so that we can develop a lot of these housing units quickly and at the affordable price points that we're looking for. Our second ask is that we're looking for those of you who have access to a lot of green housing funding opportunities to come in and to support us and to work with us to develop our particularly district and affordable housing programs. Especially because we have a good scale of off-takers to take up the development. What we're looking for is long-term affordable funding, and it will be a lot exciting if the funding is green funding, because then we're solving two problems at the same time. And we're also looking for direct investments from foreign developers who want to just come down with technology and funding to say, you want to do it in Ghana for the Ghanaian market, and then for off-takers to take up. Thankfully, Africa has now rolled out the Continental Free Trade Area. Ghana is the commercial capital. Accra is the commercial capital. So a lot of business is moving into town, and it's a great opportunity for you to come and invest in the housing sector in Ghana. The Ministry of Housing, which I lead, will provide you with facilitation and support if you're coming on board to work with us. There are some government subsidies. We've got land banks that we're making available to master developers. The government, in some of the affordable development projects, is also providing roads, electricity, water, connectivity. So those serve as subsidies to reduce your cost of development. We've also, as I mentioned, got off-takers in some of the labor unions in Ghana. In fact, just a few weeks ago, we handed over some of the housing units to Ghana's Immigration Authority that had acquired some of the properties that had been developed. So we've got off-takers to take off what you deliver. And finally, Ghana is probably the most fantastic business destination you'll find on the continent to do business. And so I want to invite you to come take advantage of these opportunities in Ghana. I'll stop here, and if you have questions, I'll take them at this point. Thank you.
Yeah, Honourable Minister, I wanted to find out in your perspective in terms of doing joint ventures with governments and also with private developers. How can that be worked out? Because possibly, as you said, you're providing land banks and other resources. Maybe there are people here who are interested who want to do JVs with the government, what are the conditions and the possibilities of doing that as well?
Thank you. So the business of government is not business. We believe that the private sector does a better job in doing these projects better than the public sector doing it. And so our encouragement to you is that there are a number of Ghanaian real estate developers who are here. Do JVs with them. What government will do will be to backstop some of the things that you are doing by providing you with some of the incentives and support services that I've spoken to earlier. And so our encouragement is that do business with the Ghanaian real estate community. We on the other side will provide you with the kind of support so that these JVs succeed for you and for our people as well. First, we're encouraging you to partner with the Ghanaian real estate sector. And second, we're saying to you that when you partner with the Ghanaian real estate sector to come take advantage of some of these opportunities in the Ghanaian housing sector, the government will provide some subsidies. We have land banks that we want to make available to you to take away the cost and the litigation risk when it comes to land acquisition. In some of the areas, depending on the scale of the development you want to do, the government is willing to do the horizontal infrastructure, roads, water, electricity, to make it easier for you and cheaper for you to develop those housing units. We've also got off-takers, including some of the public service organizations that are on standby and eager to off-take some of these developments when they are done. And government is keen on shepherding that process. All of this is even apart from a broader body of incentives that we are just shortly going to roll out. And so what we're saying to you is come partner with the Ghanaian private sector. The government will backstop and assist those joint ventures to succeed in the developments that you do. We have a housing deficit of 1.8 million units. Every unit is going to take average about 3 to 4 persons. What we are saying to the people of Ghana is that government is keen on addressing this challenge, but we can't do it alone. We've got to partner with the private sector. We've got to partner with those who've got the funding. And then we've also got to partner with the potential off-takers so that within that arrangement, we're able to structure transactions that allow us to deliver these housing units quickly, affordably, and at a price point that the average Ghanaian who's looking for these properties can take up.
Perfect.
If you're a person of African descent, you should have a property in Africa. Because every now and then you have to come back home, enjoy the Christmas, do some business, and rekindle with the local community. One of the things you need is to have some property for yourself or for investment purposes. Because as the continental free trade area is opened up and the African economy is growing, there's going to be increasing demand, as you're seeing on the numbers I just presented, for real estate in Africa. So even if you're not owning it for yourself, you could own it for commercial rental purposes and make a buck or two on the back of it.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.